What's up, guys? Yeah, man, how you doing? My name's Tyler Dark, and I suck shit at starting things. But I think everybody does. I think that's just like the most difficult part of any process, really, is beginning it. The beginning of anything is really the most difficult part. Take sex, for example. I think that the beginning of sex is by far the most awkward part, unless like in the middle, you're one of those people who just start spazzing out, just like... That can dampen the mood a bit. But you know, typically when you begin sex, like, you know, you're both disrobed, or she's disrobed and you're not, so you have to catch up or whatever, but like, you know, you're knelt over. If you're the guy, you're just knelt over, just kind of like, can you help me? And she's just, like, girls are really nice about sex. Girls are so nice about it. They like look up at you just like, and then after a while they look down, and then look back up, and then look down again, and look back up and look down. And by the time they look up again, they just begin to manually assist you in the insertion process. And that is the beginning of sex. But beginning things is really hard, and sex is really hard too. Sex is a really difficult thing. Sexuality is a difficult thing. I think that we apply too many labels to sexuality, and it makes it difficult, and it makes it challenging and painful sometimes. You know, we're either heterosexual, homosexual, asexual, bisexual, transsexual, and we apply too many labels to it. I think that you don't need labels for that kind of thing. You can just fuck who or whatever you want, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, it's okay. Like, if I had to apply a label to my sexuality, I would say that I am vaguely ungay. And by that I mean, if it doesn't involve a dick in my mouth or my ass, it's on the table. And I have very valid reasons. I've thought this through. I don't want a dick in my mouth because I think that oral sex requires some sort of reciprocation if you're a guy. I'm sorry. I know it's not fair. But I think that, you know, like if I go down on a girl and I somehow figure out the fucking corn maze that is the female anatomy, then I'm gonna get some reciprocation whether I, you know, expect it or not. With girls, it's different, and I know it's not fair, but if you're a girl and you go down on a guy, then you get a mouthful of cum and maybe a high five, and that's it. And I know it's not fair, it's not right, but, you know, if that ever changes, I'll be bummed out, but I'll completely understand. And that's my view on sucking penis. But I don't want a dick in my ass for one very specific reason. And that's because I've had a rectal exam. And that was for me. I appreciate that. But having a man's thumb in my ass turned me into a sniveling bitch. And so a man's penis in my ass might actually kill me. And so those are my reasons for my sexuality. So anybody here have kids? I know that's a really weird segue. I'm just like dicks, ass, penis, fucking kids. How many people have kids? But I don't have kids, but I live with my dad, and he, in accordance with family tradition, divorced my mom and married a younger woman. And she's got kids. She's got 2 younger kids, and those are my step-siblings, and I live with them, and I love them. They're great. I've got a younger stepsister. Her name is Dee Dee, and she is 9, and she is a fucking angel. She's the sweetest little thing in the world. I asked her last night, Dee Dee, what do you want for Christmas this year? And she said, oh, just take, you know, whatever. I'll be grateful for whatever I get. And I was like, holy shit, I won't be grateful for everything I get. I'm 20 years old, and I'm going to see some Christmas presents and still just be like, fuck that! But she'll accept anything she gets. But she's reaching the age now, she's 9, as I said, and she's at the age where she's beginning to have those adolescent curiosities that are just really, really weird when she asks me about them. Like the other day she said to me, Tyler, I love you. And I said, I love you too, Dee Dee. And she said, you have a penis. And I'm in a really awkward position right now because I'm not her parent, I'm not her guardian, but I am supposed to provide some sort of positive example. And so I said to her, yes. I decided to be real with her. I said, yes, I'm a boy, I have a penis, boys have penises. And she said, is it large? And I just said, oh my God. Dee Dee, it is so large. It is the largest penis in the history of the world. And I have one more step-sibling. His name is Kevin. He is 5, and fuck him, he's an asshole. I fucking hate that little shit. He does everything wrong. Everything. Like, the song Moves Like Jagger came out, and all of a sudden, everybody had the fucking moves like Jagger. He just applies things to everybody. He said, Allie has the moves like Jagger, Reeves has the moves like Jagger, Dee Dee has the moves like Jagger, Tyler has nobody has the fucking moves like Jagger! None of us do. None of us can dance. We're all terrible dancers, and you forced us to confront that terrible fact. Fuck you. I hate you. He said, and I mean, it's to the point where I have to tell him things like, Kevin, go to the bathroom. Why? Because I want 3 minutes of existence without you, and when you come back, I want there to be less of you. Fuck you, Kevin. But that's my family. And I love them very much. Like I said, I live with my dad. I also work with my dad in an office, which is a fucking abortion. I'm 20 years old and I work in an office. Do you know how fucking boring and mundane and just generic the shit they talk about is? This is almost verbatim something I heard some guy in that office say. He was saying, well, you know, I like pretzel M&Ms. You know, I mean, I kind of like them. They're, you know, it's just kind of, I prefer the peanut butter or even the dark chocolate because, you know, I like sweet and I can take salty, but sweet and salty at the same time is just a little too much for me, and I don't know why. And it's, why the fuck are you still talking? It's a fucking M&M. You don't need a reason to like it. You either like it or you don't. Jesus fucking Christ. It's okay if you don't like it. You don't have to analyze it. Why is this a worthwhile topic of discussion? And the old people, the fucking old people you have to put up with in an office, they're just decrepit and you just wish they would fucking die. Jesus, like, I mean, you just hear them say, and they could say anything. They could say any fucking thing in the world and it would still just go right over your head because it's so fucking boring. They could just be like, oh, you know, well, I met Doris the other day and she, you know, she and I each had a cup of coffee and a donut and everything I say is boring as shit. Maybe one day my dick will fall off and float up into the sky. And on that fateful day, I'll shit into my hands and rub it all over my face because I enjoy cutting off all my hair and eating it. That's great. That's awesome. I love that. But it's my first office job. Maybe it'll get better. Nah, it probably won't. You're right. You're totally right. You're absolutely. That's why you're here at a bar. I used to work at bars. I was very used to working at bars, and but not bars like this, because this is kind of like a low-key kind of thing. And I worked at bars that were fucking clubs, where there were cretins who just, whether they came there with people or not, they approach you because you're the person they want to fucking talk to all of a sudden. And they just said, like, I had a woman say to me, hey, I want you to take your shirt off and feed me a cheesesteak and be my Magic Mike. And if I had obliged her, this is what she would have seen. That's what she would have, and I mean, it's not hideous or gross or anything, but it's fucking, like, it's like an abstract expressionist painting. Like, it's just, I'm not Magic Mike, I am Mediocre Mark. And I'm okay with that. And I think on that note, I'm gonna give you guys my time. Thank you for listening to me talk.